Teams from Chippewa, Conneaut, and Mogadore compete on the Nordson Academic Challenge. Here we go again. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate the 54th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge. I am your host, Rob Powers. The challenge of the show is the same as it's always been. 3 local high school teams compete for points by answering questions in math, science, history, a few other topics as well. Let's hear it one more time for today's teams. Chippewa, Conneaut, and Mogadore. Every team this year is playing for a chance to make it to our leaderboard. And at the end of the season, the top 3 teams will be back to play for the championship and a $6,000 grant from Nordson. Let's get things started this Saturday. The way we start every Saturday morning, it's time for the lightning round. All 3 teams compete in this round. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We subtract 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's start this match with 100 points for every team. Everybody ready? Okay, all answers here begin with the letter M. M as in money. Got it? This is the planet closest to the sun. Conneaut.
Mercury.
That is correct. This is what the M stands for in the equation E equals MC squared. Conneaut.
Mass.
That is correct. Harry Potter used this term for people with no magic powers. Mogadore.
Muggles.
That is correct. He is the current president of France. Mogadore.
Macron.
That is correct. This is the capital city of Nicaragua. Conneaut.
Managua.
Excuse me?
Managua.
That is correct. This mythical woman was jilted by Jason. Chippewa.
Medusa.
Medea, sorry. This Austrian monk founded the science of genetics. Mogadore.
Mendel.
That is correct. This is the longest tributary of the Mississippi River. Conneaut.
The Missouri.
That is correct. This is the capital of Alabama. Mogadore.
Montgomery.
That is correct. And for our final lightning round question this morning, we go to the Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument. Here's Executive Director Greg Palumbo.
The Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument was dedicated July 4, 1894, in a star-studded ceremony. Among the speakers was what then Ohio governor who would become the 25th President of the United States.
Mogadore.
McKinley.
McKinley is correct, and that's the end of the round. That's why they call it the lightning round. It was quick. We'll be back with more Nordson Academic Challenge right after this.
Nordson is honored to sponsor a program that celebrates academic excellence. We're a global industrial technology company with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. We donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profit to charity every year. Over the past 30 years, the Nordson Corporation Foundation has donated more than $100 million, and our employees have volunteered more than 100,000 hours. And now, we're pleased to support the legacy of Academic Challenge. Thank you all for watching, and the best of luck to all the participants.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like more information about any of the schools that appear this season, scan the QR code you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That code will take you to news5cleveland.com's Academic Challenge page. We have links for all this season's schools' websites on that page. Time now for the Hot Picks round. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions. A correct response here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty here for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. But before we get to the questions, let's talk to our contestants. Let's start with Chippewa. Mallory, you are the captain. Congratulations on that. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm a senior at Chippewa High School, and next year I'll be studying political science at Kent State University. And shout out to our amazing coach, Mrs. Schaefer. We love you.
That is awesome. Thanks, Mallory. Hi, Kendall.
Hi, I'm the vice president of my school's National Honor Society chapter and a student researcher at Kent State Stark, where I'll be studying biology and psychology.
Awesome. Welcome. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm on the golf and tennis team, and I'm also a member of NHS and our school's theater program.
Way to go. Everybody, again, busy, busy, busy. Your questions, Chippewa, come down to Harrison from Conneaut. Harrison, you get to pick envelope 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Let's do envelope 3.
3. Okay. So, Chippewa, these questions are just for you. Set? Here we go. Widely spoken in South Africa, the Afrikaans dialect was derived primarily from what official language of the Netherlands?
Dutch?
Dutch is correct. To celebrate the French Revolution, one composer wrote a work for 300 instruments. From what section of the orchestra that includes flutes and oboes?
Woodwinds?
That is correct. There's a very tiny population of hardy souls who live on what cold Danish island, the largest in the world?
Greenland?
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Which of these terms refers to the diffusion of water through a semi-permeable membrane so as to equalize concentrations of solutions on both sides?
Osmosis?
That is correct. Companies making class rings are among the leading purchasers of what element whose atomic number is 79 and whose symbol is AU?
Gold?
That is correct. Although nobody cared much about him when he was alive, 11 Spanish towns now claim to have been the birthplace of what author of Don Quixote?
Swantes?
Cervantes is correct. We'll accept that. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to simplify completely this expression. Answer?
3x cubed?
3x squared. 3x squared. It's okay. Here's your final question. When they heard Mexican prisoners shouting El Presidente after the Battle of San Jacinto, Texans realized they had captured what Mexican leader? Answer?
Maximilian II?
Santa Anna is the answer, but nice round, Chippewa. Good job. There you go. Alrighty. Our second team this morning comes to us from Conneaut. Welcome to all three of you. Hello, Harrison. You're the captain.
Hi, I'm Harrison. I'm a senior at Conneaut High School, and I just wanted to shout out our amazing English teacher and director, Artemisia Murmis.
There you go. Hi, Diana. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Diana. I'm a sophomore, and I would like to shout out our alternates, Maddie and Orlan.
Fantastic. Jordan, you are up. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm a senior. I'm a part of the NHS, and I am fluent in French.
Oh, oui. Thanks for being here, Conneaut. Your questions come from Landon from Mogadore. Landon, envelope 1, 2, or 4?
Let's go with envelope number 1.
Number 1. Landon, it's a big decision. It's a big decision. There we go. Conneaut, all yours. All set? Here we go. The need for fire safety was brought home to American colonists in 1608 when a fire nearly destroyed what first permanent English settlement in Virginia?
Jamestown.
That is correct. Captain Robert Gray was tickled pink when in 1790 he completed what journey first accomplished by Magellan's expedition?
Circumnavigation of the globe.
That is correct. Among the unusual creatures discovered in a census of marine life were bacteria that eat what element whose symbol is S?
Sulfur.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Of these three terms, which one refers to the maintenance of a relatively constant internal state of equilibrium in an organism?
Homeostasis.
That is correct. According to myth, Apollo added 4 strings to the lyre, a musical instrument invented by what classical messenger god?
Hermes.
That is correct. The sinking by a sperm whale of the USS Essex in 1820 provided the inspiration for the novel Moby Dick by what author?
Herman Melville.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. If x equals 2, what is the area of this right triangle? Answer?
5 radical 2.
6. 6 is the answer. What white abolitionist not only crusaded against slavery, but also against drinking and smoking in his newspaper, The Liberator?
Franklin.
William Lloyd Garrison is the answer there. Have a nice round, Conneaut. Way to go. Okay. Our third team this morning comes to us from Mogadore. Landon, great to see you. What do we need to know about Landon?
I'm a senior, and I would also take the advantage to welcome our great advisor, Miss Kendra Millerette, for all her work these past few years with us.
There you go. Welcome back. Hi, Connor.
Hey. I'm a senior at Mogadore High School. I'm in our drama club, and I study computer science at Maplewood Career Center.
Awesome. Welcome. Hi, Nathan. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a senior at Mogadore High School, and I'm planning to go to college for music, education, and performance.
Good for you, all 9 of you. Congratulations on everything you're doing in high school and then beyond. So impressive. Your questions, Mogadore, come from Mallory. Mallory, we're left with envelope 2 or 4?
4.
4. All right, here we go. Mogadore, these questions are all yours. All set? Here we go. It is now illegal to use a cell phone when crossing the street in what capital city of Hawaii?
Honolulu.
That is correct. The Panama Canal could not have been built before scientists eliminated the Anopheles variety of what disease-bearing insect?
Mosquito.
That's correct. According to legend, an inkwell was once hurled at the devil by what German leader of the Reformation?
Martin Luther.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here is your science question. Which of these devices would most likely be used to detect a small electric current?
Galvanometer.
That is correct. Fans at the Orange Bowl seeking divine help might recall that orange blossoms were an emblem of what classical goddess of the hunt?
Artemis.
That is correct. Though serious literary work was then written in Latin, what medieval poet decided to write his Divine Comedy in his native Italian?
Dante.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your science question. If x equals 2, what is the value of this expression? Give your answer as a positive integer.
25.
25 is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. The ancient Greek city-state of Sparta was located on what peninsula that gave its name to the long series of wars between Sparta and Athens in the 5th century BC?
The Peloponnesus.
Peloponnesus is correct for the bonus points. There you go. There you go. That's how we do it right there. What a round. We'll be back with more academic excitement coming up right after this. Today's judge from Cuyahoga Community College, history and political science instructor Joseph Madia. Joseph, thank you so much for being here again this morning. Great to see you again this season. And we welcome you back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we start our next round, we're going to take a look at the scores that we have so far. Right now in third place with 200 points, the team from Chippewa. With 300 points, the team from Conneaut. Leading the way right now at 385 is Mogadore. But hold on. Time to go head-to-head once again. This is our picture-perfect round. Every correct answer here is worth 20 points, but a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 20 points. Again, this is for all three teams, so hands on the buzzer, eyes on the big monitor. All set? Here we go. A magazine once printed upside down this Kandinsky lithograph, which is appropriately titled Yellow, Red, and what other primary color? Chippewa.
Blue.
That is correct. This was the caustic remark of a guest describing a dinner given by what 19th U.S. president whose wife believed in temperance? Answer is Rutherford B. Hayes. The Angkor Wat Temple complex was built in the 12th century in what is now what Southeast Asian country whose capital is Phnom Penh? Mogadore.
Cambodia.
That is correct. What is the value of x in this equation? Answer? Chippewa.
48.
48 is correct. These military officers were part of a German delegation attending the coronation of what last Russian Tsar? Chippewa.
Nicholas II.
That is correct. Located on the Danube River, this is the Parliament building in what Hungarian capital city? Mogadore.
Budapest.
That is correct. A squirrel's tail is not just decoration. It acts as both a parachute and as what are initial part of a boat's stern that controls direction. Mogadore.
Rudder.
That is correct. Though this issue of Cleveland Magazine reports on our area's private grade schools, you can name our state's largest private college by enrollment, located in University Circle neighborhood in Cleveland. Mogadore.
Case Western Reserve.
That is correct, and that's the end of that round. Oh, that was a good one. Don't go anywhere. Our exciting grab bag round to help determine today's winner, that's coming up. After, of course, we mix it up one more time. Stick around.
Bad press.
Hey, welcome back. Time to say hello to our advisors from Chippewa. Margaret Schaefer's here from Conneaut. Artemis Murmis is here, and from Mogadore, Kendra Millerette. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for bringing the kids. Thanks for everything you do for our kids. Couldn't do this without you. Time now for us to mix it up. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round receives 25 bonus points. Chippewa, you are up first. All set? Here we go. You can celebrate National Silver Month by finding hidden here the name of what New England state, the 14th to join the Union?
Vermont.
That is correct. Which two of these words are synonyms?
Deception and infirmity.
Deception and duplicity. This phrase might have been used by a medieval knight searching for the Holy Grail, but if you rearrange the letters, you'll name what animal, the largest of the great apes?
Gorilla.
That is correct. Add some consonants to the E's. Here, you'll name what American patriot who made a famous midnight ride in 1775 to warn that the British are coming?
Revere.
That is correct. When Aphrodite won the mythical beauty contest that led to the Trojan War, Paris awarded her which of these?
A golden apple.
That is correct. This was President Eisenhower's dismissive statement after the Soviet Union launched what first satellite in 1957?
Sputnik.
That is correct. Nice round Chippewa. There you go. There you go. All righty. Conneaut, it is your turn. All set? Here we go. Look beyond the hippo and see if you can find here the hidden word for what measure of weight.
Pound.
That is correct. Which two of these words are antonyms?
Lethargic and energetic.
That is correct. Rearrange the letters here in this anagram to name what geometric figure that can be scalene or isosceles.
Triangle.
That is correct. I'm asking you to add some more letters here to name what Midwestern Cornhusker state.
Nebraska.
That is correct. To write a romance novel in a romance language, you would choose which of these?
Italian.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. So says the official visitor's guide to what New England state whose capital is Concord?
New
Answer?
Hampshire.
New Hampshire is correct for the bonus points. There you go. There you go. It's that easy, Mogadore. All righty. You're up. All set? Here we go. Here you have two European countries, but hidden in this phrase is the name of what largest mountain range in South America?
Andes.
That is correct. Which two of these words would be best paired as opposite in meaning? Answer?
Obscure and chronic.
Lucid and obscure. Oh, please don't do this. Just rearrange the letters here to identify what kind of saltwater bivalve mollusk, a source of pearls.
Oyster.
That is correct. You won't need your ID to fill in the blanks here to name what Greek god of the sea, the counterpart of the Roman Neptune.
Poseidon.
That is correct. The human body contains a lot of muscles, bones, and blood vessels. Of these three, which is a bone?
Clavicle.
That is correct. This description of New Jersey was made by what explorer whose name was given to a New York river and to Canada's largest bay?
Hudson.
That is correct. Henry Hudson is the answer. Way to go. Way to go. All three teams. That's the end of that round, but hold on. We're going to be back with our final and deciding grab bag round coming up right after this. Okay, welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we continue, let's recap the scores as we have them right now. In third place, we can go right down the line. 360 points for Chippewa, 445 points for Conneaut, 565 for Mogadore. Oh, but hold on. Now it's time for the grab bag round. Anything can happen here. This is a free-for-all. One more time. Every correct answer in this round is worth 30 points. But for a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 30 points. It's a big round. So hands on the buzzer, eyes on the monitor when we need it. All set? Here we go. This is it. Louis VIII of France was called the Lion, not for his bravery, but because he was born under what lion sign of the zodiac? Conneaut.
Leo.
That is correct. A pigeon named Cher Ami was awarded the French Croix de Guerre with palm for delivering a critical message while wounded during what early 20th century war? Mogadore.
World War I.
That is correct. Artworks spanning a period of 3,000 years are displayed at the Biscari Museum on what largest Mediterranean island, a part of Italy? Mogadore.
Sardinia.
Sicily. Sicily. Here is a summer scene in what O-initialed mountains located in Arkansas and Missouri? Answer? The Ozarks. Ozarks. The beautiful blue Danube River flows into what sea with a darker name? Conneaut.
Black Sea.
That is correct. The clarinet represents what young hero in Prokofiev's composition about a boy who encounters a wolf? Conneaut.
Peter.
That is correct. Launched in 1930, the U.S. Navy's first streamlined submarine had what same name that 24 years later would identify our first nuclear submarine? Answer is the Nautilus. Rearrange the letters in this unattractive phrase to name Chippewa.
Chattanooga.
That is correct. Of our first 6 presidents, the only one who had not been a law student was what general who started out as a surveyor? Conneaut.
George Washington.
That is correct. The Texans selected the Lone Star to symbolize their independence, but the short... Okay, we've got an interesting situation here. That is the end of our regulation time period. But we go to the scores. Chippewa will finish in 3rd place with 390 points. We have a tie right now at the top with 565 points. Conneaut and Mogadore. So here's what we do. 1 question. Get it right, get the points. Get it wrong, lose the points. Understand? Chippewa, we ask you to hold off on this one. Don't answer. This is just for the 2 of you. Set. Here is the question. March 1862 saw a 5-hour sea battle at Hampton Roads between the Monitor and what ironclad Confederate ship? Conneaut.
The Constitution.
The Merrimack is the answer there, the Merrimack. Heck of a game, heck of a game. Let's go to the scores. Mogadore the winner with 565 points. Woo! Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob Powers. We're back here next week.